Show me a pill and I will build something you feel. I fell in love with the art, let me sharpen my skill. When the days get dark, I make a song and I chill. And every day I thank God that I'm ill. Show me a pill and I will build something you feel. I fell in love with the art, let me sharpen my skill. When the days get dark, I make a song and I chill. And every day I thank God that I'm ill. Sometimes it feels like my brain has been to the gym. I'm putting on weight, the tablets that they feed me are grim. I wish I never said yes to the pharmaceutical maniacs. Give my granddad passing trauma through the DNA he had. It's like his brain was confused, hard to understand. He used to mumble under his breath and blame the Jews. A young boy seeing World War II and had to escape the Nazis who were soon to come through.
Stash is looking nice right now, guys. I'm not gonna lie. I am not gonna lie. The stash is looking nice right now. I don't know if you can even tell. Like, let me just look at this. Look at this baby. Look at this little lip caterpillar. Is it better if I stream like this? Just my big ass head in the way and just less chart, more face, more perv stash, more neck? Is that better? I don't know. My neck is shrunk, brother. It's all about the angles, my friend Tyler. It's all about the angles. The neck is thick as ever. I promise you that. I'm 215 right now. I'm fucking thick. I'm thick like a bowl of oatmeal. How big was I? I don't know. Is this big enough? Is this too big? Is this light? I got a new light here. It's actually a stormtrooper head. You can't see it. Oh no, the exposure's fucked. I don't know how cameras work. What up, Chase? How's that short going? Must be printing. Sure you close some at the low like a Chad. This guy says, "What's up, redacted capital?" Who the fuck is that? I don't know what you're talking about, bro. All right, guys. Last stream got a little crazy. Okay? Last stream was a little crazy. There's a little bit of flexing. There's a little bit of gratuitous dick sucking, self-fellatio, as they like to say. And that was when Bitcoin was 40 and, Ethereum was at 2K. We hit 40, almost 45K, 44,777. Okay. Ethereum, 2409. Have I ever been to Prince George? Unfortunately, yes. Jackson, Mayne, what are you doing with my last name, bro? So we got a little crazy last stream, okay? We got a little crazy. We got a little excited. Maybe that was a sign of things to come. I don't know. Now, am I still bullish on the markets overall? Absolutely. We'll do some high time frame analysis. I know the duck, Don Alt, came out saying he's a little bit unsure about this pump. Is it over? We've kind of had this basically, ETF price appreciation. Everyone knew that the ETF was going to get approved. Price appreciated massively. So is it over now, right? Are we going to get some sort of pullback before further highs? I think one of his posts was that he thinks we're more likely to go sub 30 before new all-time highs or something like that. I can't remember the time frame. So, I think this is the first kind of really big pullback we've had in a little while, right? I mean, we've had 8 green weekly candles in a row, right? So that can't be, nonstop forever. But I'm going to give you guys my thoughts on the markets. And we'll kind of just go from there, right? That's what you're here for. You're here for my opinion, my takes, what I'm doing with my money, what you do with your money. That's up to you. That's up to you, my friend. So I'll kind of go over. There's kind of 2 main things I want to cover today. I want to look at the charts, obviously, and then I want to talk about a concept on that you're kind of seeing playing out right now with TIA, ING, AVAX, certain coins that are rallying extremely hard, and how you can maximize your dip buying, right? Or your trades based on this type of information. Okay? So we'll start with the charts, and then we'll get into that kind of concept a little later here. And I'm going to go through, I got a bunch of different altcoins we can look at here. So, I mean, from a high time frame perspective, again, I don't think anything has changed. Yeah, we have a little bit of a wick here. I still think price eventually trades to here, and then, probably all-time high sooner than later. Kind of from a high time frame, really, the question is where do we go first? Is it above here or is it down here, right? Because there's a chance that, we take out the high here and then have a pullback, but then is this pullback too significant, right? So from where we're at right now, 42,000, 41.5, a 20% pullback from here would put us kind of back into this zone here, in the high 30s or low 30s, kind of high 28s, high 20s, excuse me. So this could happen. Maybe Donald's right. We're going to get some sort of deeper correction. But, I'm of the mindset, very simply, if we were to come back to this area, you want to be a buyer. Maybe we dip lower. Maybe we come and we tag this thing here, right? Like maybe this is where we dip to. Regardless, high time frame, if we dip to any of these areas here, right back into this kind of support zone, I'd be a buyer. Okay, this is high time frame. We're going to get into the leverage trading in a bit. But a reason for talking about the high time frame is different from the low time frame, right? Is for what happened yesterday. If you're in spot, right, and you got buys from the lows into this consolidation and you're just riding this trend, that dump doesn't scare you really, right? If you're in Ethereum from 1,500, 1,800, if you're in Bitcoin from sub 30, you're not really worried. Now, if you're in levered longs, guess what? You're shitting your pants when you see this happen. You're probably getting liquidated or your positions are getting stopped out when you see this kind of move happen. So I always try and, while the concepts are the same, high time frame trading, low time frame trading, the concepts that you apply are the same. You still need to use risk management, do your TA and all that fucking shit. Spot trading and leverage trading, in my opinion, are very different in that leverage, right? It's not as easy to handle, especially if you're over levered, which the majority of you probably are. Hence the, hundreds of millions in licks we get every time we have any sort of pullback. You can get wiped out on those kind of moves, right? Which can be very frustrating. So you could be right in that price is going to be higher 3 months from now than it is today, but you could lose money because you were trying to trade it with leverage. Whereas if you're just holding spot, you don't really have that same risk. That being said, high time frame, I still think looks good. I still think we eventually are going to trade out to this level. Are we going to get some sort of pullback here first? Maybe. I genuinely don't know. I do think that this move is, this is the fourth green monthly in a row. Whether we go higher or not, I'm unsure of yet from a high time frame perspective. I'm confident that we end up, doing one of these. The question is do we pull back from here and then go up? Do we trade a little higher and then the pullback is a little shallower? I don't know yet. Can't really tell from the monthly. There's not really much going on there. All I can say from the monthly is if we come back anywhere to this area here, that's a buy. That's an easy clap buy. Because to me, the risk reward is super good here. So if we come anywhere towards 30K, even a little lower, right? If we come anywhere in this area here, let's just call it 30K for easy math. To me, even with stops at new lows, you're 2.5 your money just to all-time high and will likely extend past all-time high, right? And if you have a more aggressive stop, right, it starts to become a much better multiple. Now, this would be like spot buying kind of thing. Yeah, there'd be leverage involved as well. But the problem with this is Bitcoin's very expensive and the price appreciation is capped at that, right? Like unless you have a relatively big stack, right? Longing Bitcoin from 30K to 60K is not going to make you rich. Like unless you're putting millions of dollars into it. So there's guys like Donald and other guys who can say, okay, I just want to buy spot Bitcoin here and I'll sell it at a new all-time high. Well, that works if you have millions of dollars. I have a feeling the majority of you do not. And I'm not calling you poor. Well, I am calling you poor, but not in a mean way. I'm just saying, some of you, this may be your first cycle. This may be your second cycle. And now you kind of know what you're doing, but you don't have the huge stack yet. And you want to take that 4-figure, 5-figure, maybe it's a 6-figure portfolio, and you want to make it 7 figures, 8 figures. You're not going to do that buying spot Bitcoin. Like, unless you have millions of dollars already or very high hundreds of thousands, you're not getting rich spot buying Bitcoin at these levels and selling them at all-time high. You're not getting rich buying Bitcoin at 30K and selling it at all-time high. And Ethereum too, it's kind of expensive. I mean, like, let's say Ethereum goes to 10K from here, it's 5x. 5x is a lot, but 5x of 10 grand is 50. I'm not saying that's not an amazing return. It's incredible. But if you're trying to turn 10 grand into, 1 million, you're not going to do it being spot long Bitcoin or Ethereum. You guys aren't poor. You're all pre-rich because you're watching these streams. You're pre-rich. That's what it is. That's the term I was looking for. Now, I like how I'm just gesticulating with this pen. Makes me feel fucking smart. Now, that doesn't mean that what Bitcoin's going to do is irrelevant. I think, what Bitcoin does is supremely important, and we want to see it continue to go higher, because if we do get some sort of large correction pre the ETF, right? So maybe the ETF price appreciation's already happened and we're going to get some sort of correction down into here, right? Altcoins are going to get shit on, but there could be some really generational entries on some of these alts that have proven to be very strong. You're looking at Solanas, you're looking at Injectives, Tia, Celestia. You're looking at those kind of coins that have proven to be bonk, very strong. Good chance if we get a deep pullback, these coins are going to be ones that you could get really good entries on, right? Like, let's say Tia is going to $100, 10x from here, right? If Bitcoin pulls back 20% down to like 30K, Tia is getting smoked. But it will probably recover quite quickly if Bitcoin finds support and bounces. And we saw that last night. So that's kind of the concept I want to get into a little bit later, but let's just finish charting Bitcoin here. Now, zooming a little bit in, on the weekly here, there's still nothing really to look at. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 green weeklies in a row. We still have this liquidity level here. We have a flat weekly bottom candle here. And we have, this Monday's low here now. Maybe we run this into this fair value gap and then we go up. Maybe the low's already in. I don't really know, but there's not much to glean here on the weekly. Now, going down to the 12-hour, we have some stuff we can start to look at here from kind of a short-term trading perspective. So when we look down here at the 12-hour chart, I have a very clear 12-hour range. Here's your low, here's your high. Still a bullish range. This is a low to a high, so we're in an upswing, right? We're in an upswing, and we're effectively trying to time the higher low. If we're going to continue higher, what I want to see is a higher low form within this up leg. That's the entire thing that I'm trying to figure out here. If price is going to continue higher, it doesn't have to, right? How does an uptrend end? You have your higher low form, right? You have your higher low form. And then one of these times, you think the higher low is going to form, and then it doesn't. And now you have a trend shift, right? And now it's downtrending, or maybe we start going sideways. But the way that I trade, very simply, is I assume the trend is going to continue until it doesn't anymore. So unfortunately, the 12-hour range here is extremely large. It's almost $10,000. It's $8,000. There is no 12-hour time. There's no 12-hour bearish market structure shift until below 37,500. That's not very helpful if you're trying to get in early and figure out when this trend might be waning, turning around, etc. But I'm going to assume that the trend remains up until proven otherwise based on the H12. Now, can I find clues of when it might shift earlier? Sure. One of them is this. It's the first internal trend change. So as you see here, here's your 12-hour low. Here's your 12-hour low. Here's the 12-hour low. Here's the 12-hour low. Here's the 12-hour low. Here's the 12-hour low. Not a single one of those broke market structure of the previous lows. So while the 12-hour market structure is here to here, here is a 12-hour low that has been shifted. So I would call this like an internal range market structure shift. It could be a clue of what's to come, but it's not enough yet. It's not enough yet. So you could look at the 4-hour or something, right? Where here is the 4-hour trend and we've broken it, right? There's your 4-hour swing low. Here's your 4-hour swing high. We've broken market structure on the 4-hour. Okay. So there is some potential clues of a market structure shift going on, but I'm going to assume, because 12 hours my kind of go-to high time frame, that this trend will continue until proven otherwise. If you look at the weekly, right? If you're looking at the weekly, your swing low on the weekly is here. It is right here. And then this is your swing high. So on the weekly, we can come all the way down into the low 30s and still maintain bullish weekly market structure. On the monthly, we haven't even put in a swing high yet. But in theory, as long as we're trading above here, any sort of pullback has the potential to be a higher low on the monthly, right? So that's where it gets a little tricky, because sometimes these higher time frame ranges can be quite huge, and you're trying to say, okay, well, is the trend over? And it's like, well, technically not. We can trade lower, lower, lower here, still be in a bullish H12 range, and then go higher. Okay? So what I see here on the 12-hour is we had an SFP, and I marked this out. And if you're in Telegram or if you're in the Haven, I marked out this 12-hour SFP, and I said, I'm not really interested in shorting, but we've got a 12-hour SFP. We could have a pullback. Mark your levels out. Let's look for bids. I probably should have been interested in shorting because it was a short trigger. And you can see the result of that 12-hour SFP playing out right here. Now, zooming in, we did have a H1 trigger as well, right? So you had your H1 right here. There's your zone. You had multiple sweeps within here. Sweep, sweep, market structure break, market structure break. So this is distribution happening, right? I've talked about this in previous videos, right? We're looking for distribution, sweeps, and then lows getting broken within the distribution. So there was a short here. I didn't take it, but I was prepared for there to be a pullback. But I kind of thought it might have been over, kind of here when we had this little bit of a sweep. I was like, okay, if we're really bullish, we just had a sweep here on Ethereum, because that's what I was looking at. I said, we just put in a 12-hour sweep. So I actually took a long on Ethereum. I got stopped out like immediately. But we've had a pretty deep pullback here. We've now filled in this fair value gap. We're bottoming out here, okay? You also have this 12-hour order block here that we spiked through, but it's kind of getting respected a little bit. But these wicks oftentimes in crypto, right, are largely driven by liquidations, right? People who are over-levered, big OI wipe, bunch of licks happening. So you get that kind of exaggerated price action. Now, I'm looking at this and I'm saying, okay, we've come in, we've hit this fair value gap. We're seeing a bounce. I think based on the H12, at the very least, we come back and we retest here. So I don't know if we dump from here, but I think we retest this gray. Now the question is are we going to retest it from right here? Just keep grinding up like we are? Or are we going to get one of those like this, right? Where it dumps, it grinds up, you think it's going to go all the way back to the high, and then it dumps again, and then it goes back to the high, right? So on the low time frame, it's kind of a little more clear, right? You say, okay, here's the low, right? Here's the low. It's going to trade up, and then maybe it makes another low and then goes up. I don't really know. But I think looking at this right now, it looks like we're, holding that low. This looks like a decently strong move. I do think we come and retest this gray box. Now, what I'm prepared to do is within this gray box, I'm willing to short if I get a trigger. So if we come up into this gray box and we put in any sort of SFP and then market structure break on like the hourly, or better yet, if we swept a 12-hour high in here, I would probably short and I would target down here. That's just a purely technical trade. In terms of my bias, I still would like to see us trade higher. So I don't love, the Bitcoin setup here. I think there was better trades to be taken. But looking at the 12-hour, to me, after running this low here, the next draw, I think, is back into this gray box. And then we got to kind of see what's going to happen. So this rally could continue a little bit longer. I know some of you are mentioning where's Monday's low. I talked about this, right? Like we could run Monday's low. If we run Monday's low and then reclaim, then that's a long, right? Simple as that. That's a long I'll take 9 out of 10 times. And then guess where Monday's high is? Right in that gray box. So I'll be watching this quite closely. I bought a little bit of spot yesterday. I bought some spot Bitcoin down here. I bought some spot Ethereum around 2,000. I bought some Solana, I think at like 65. So I got some decent entries, but I don't have like a stop loss, in mind for those positions at this point. I'm going to be watching very closely over the next day or two, and then deciding if I want to hold those trades or if I think I might be able to get better entries. So for now on Bitcoin, those are kind of the levels that I'm watching here. I'm watching Monday's low, and then I'm watching this gray box and potentially Monday's high. And then we will, kind of see what happens. Okay. Now, looking at it. Oh, and another little cool thing you can do here. Whenever we have this played out way back. I'll show you it on Ethereum. But a lot of times you're going to get these little runs, right? And these are super scary to buy. I understand, right? Like when this candle was in the making here, like if we replay this, where's the tools for replay? Here we go. Right? Like, how do I go back? Okay, but like in the making, like if you're watching that live, you're shitting your pants, right? Like you're like, holy shit, it's fucking over. Like that's scary, right? So it's very difficult sometimes to buy into that candle. Like that's a very, very, very ballsy buy. But a lot of times when we have these, massive uptrends, you get these bull market, right? Or these, these large and quick down moves, and they end up being really, really good fucking buys. And they recover pretty quickly. So here's a little tip of a way that you can, if you miss this initial spike, right? How you can get in. So I'll just undo this. So Ethereum was a really good example. If you go here, right, when you see the initial spike happen, what I want you to do is take your fib from the low to the high, right? The next swing high that gets formed. So you mark out the low, and then you put in your second level of your fib, right, at the swing high that forms after, and mark out your 61.8, your 78.6. So I call this is the OTE from ICT, right? But 62, 70.5, and the 79. And if you miss that initial spike, a lot of times we'll get one deep retest before another bounce. So this works really well on these kind of crazy dumps where you're like, oh, I wish I would have bought this wick, right? Because then what a lot of people end up doing is they end up buying when this candle closes like this, and then it bleeds back down. What do? You end up closing that because you're underwater, and then it bounces back up, and you would have been able to break even. Whereas here, you wait for that bounce to happen, and then you wait for that bleed back down into this area here, the 62 to the 79.5. And this could have just been a day trade. This is just Ethereum. It's up 4%. You go look at Inge, AVAX, Sol, some of those other coins that are a lot more reflexive right now. They're bouncing 10, 20% off the lows. So this is something that I see all the fucking time. I used to do this all the time. We'd have a big scary wick. I wouldn't have the balls to buy it. Price would bounce super hard. I'd say, oh shit, the bottom's in. So I'm longing here. And then it would bleed. And I'd go, oh fuck, never mind, the bottom's not in. I close. And then it bounces again. Right? So this is a really good thing to go test out. And what I want you guys to do is go look at some of these coins like TIA. Right? Like if you look at TIA here, it made a new high. So where Bitcoin and Ethereum made a lower high here, TIA is already making new highs. But if you pull your fib, same thing from here to here, right? Shallower pullback, but it's the same idea. You're not getting in at this level here, but you're still getting a very nice entry. Same thing with Inge, right? Pull your fib from here to here. So you were scared, right? You were scared to buy this candle. Okay, wait for it to form a range and then try and buy as close to or below the 50% as possible. Because you're going to, right? A lot of people are going to see TIA do this, make a new high. They're going to say, holy shit, it's going to the moon. They're going to buy here. And then this is going to happen. They're going to close. And then the move that they wanted to be in is going to happen. Okay? So when you're looking at moves like this that we've had on Bitcoin and Ethereum, these big ass dumps, one of the first things you need to be doing is you need to be going through your altcoin list and you need to see which altcoins are recovering the hardest and the fastest. Because maybe you longed those dips. Maybe you longed TIA at 9 and you longed Inge sub 20 and now you're printing like fucking a madman. Maybe. But when you identify the TIAs, Inge, AVAX, all these coins were super reflexive back to the upside. They all made new highs where Bitcoin and Ethereum and other coins were not. I think even Solana didn't make a new high, right? But Solana bounced way harder off the bottom. It's up 15%. Ethereum's up 4%, right? So the advantage there is now you know what coins, if you're day trading, so if you're trading on the lower time frames, those are the coins you need to be trading. And if we get a bigger correction in the future, like Bitcoin dumps 25% or something crazy, those are the markets that you want to probably be paying attention to and looking for dip buys, because they have proven to be extremely reflexive to the upside when the market corrects back up. And yeah, you're sometimes going to long the coin that doesn't bounce. Look, I longed Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Sol. Bitcoin's up 4%. Ethereum's up fucking 4%. Solana's up 15%, but fucking TIA from the low, it's up 40%, right? So like there's always going to be a coin that's up more, but it's your job to try and identify these markets, okay? And those are the ones that you want to try and pay attention to. Those are the ones you want to mark down. Say, okay, these markets seem to be very strong markets. Like, I mean, TIA is about to go to $12 right now. We're still trading below 42. We're trading at 44 and prices were lower. Yeah, AVAX up a bunch, right? So these are the type of things that you want to pay attention to when we have those big wipeouts. What markets are reacting the most strong? Okay, those are probably good markets to day trade. and to look to buy on dips. Just look at this out. This is a 15-minute chart here on TIA, okay? 15-minute chart. I'm going to show you something here. Where is this, okay? We have a 20% dump. We have a 17% move up. We have a 12% move up. Here's a 12% move down. Here's an 8% move up. Here's an 11% move down. Here's a fucking 15% move up. Here's a 15% drop followed by a 25% pump. There's another double-digit pump. Another double-digit pump. This is a 15-minute chart, and this is showing price action for the last 6 days. If you're day trading and you want to be finding opportunities, right, for volatility, you want to be in and out of the market. Are you wanting to be looking at Ethereum and Bitcoin right now, or do you want to be looking at TIA? Do you want to be looking at INJ? Do you want to be looking at AVAX? These coins that are giving you, they're showing you the volatility there. There's so much money to be made day trading if that's what you're trying to do in these types of markets. So that's advantage number one. Advantage number two is when we get those big corrections, good money to be made buying the dip on these coins as opposed to buying the dip on fucking some shitty coin that you've been, hoping is just going to change its mind. Like if you bought the dip on Unibot, you're going to say, well, where's the bounce? It didn't even bounce at all, right? This barely bounced at all. Sui barely bounced at all. Solana, decent bounce. Bonk, pretty decent bounce, right? But some of these are very disproportionately strong relative to others. And that's the type of thing that you want to be focusing on and looking for if you're trying to day trade or if you're trying to identify strong markets that you want to be in. These are the spot coins. Another really good one I think was SNX. Like these coins, look at SNX here. Damn, what is this? Oh no. Did I long another bottom and then just never take the trade? Oh baby. Oh baby, that would have been a nice one, wouldn't it have? Wouldn't it have? But of course I didn't take it. Why would I? Why would I? Okay. Looks like 12 hour. Let's see if I can recreate that. 12-hour range. And this looks like I was using the 12-hour fair value gap. Then probably some sort of hourly trigger within here. Maybe this. Sweep. Market structure break. Retest. That seems to be it. Oh well. But again, look at how this recovered. Here's the low. We're up 20%. This looks like it's about to make a new high. Meanwhile, Bitcoin and Ethereum are still trading. Ethereum is still 8% below its high. Bitcoin is still 8% below its high. So those are the types of things you as the trader need to focus on and find if you're trying to day trade or if you're trying to get yourself positioned in stronger markets. Okay? Again, if you're trying to turn a little bit of money into a lot, you want to be getting yourselves into these coins that are going up a whole lot more than the rest of the market. I saw someone on Twitter post today. I'll check the chat in a second here, guys. I know I've been talking for 40 minutes straight. I saw a guy post today and he goes, the Bears, someone's saying that the Bears missed this entire rally, but a lot of these coins are still down relative to BTC and Ethereum or whatever. I checked the top 20 coins. Why are the top 20 coins a good barometer of what the fuck's been bullish? They're not. I mean, some of the top 20 coins, Cardano went up 50% recently. And it was, it's still down overall from Bitcoin. It's like, who cares? Like, since September, we've had multiple coins go up multiple hundreds of percents. Nothing is down 90% since September. So if you've been bearish since September, You've been getting fisted. There's no two ways about it. Have there been periods over the last year where price has gone down? Sure. Have there been periods over the last year where altcoins have not gone up versus BTC or Ethereum? Like, of course. But the new shit that has come for this new cycle that we're working towards, a lot of it has gone absolutely mental since September, since January even. Like, look at a coin like TIA. This coin's not even that old, but it's up 400% since November, right? Like, we've got coins like Bonk, we've got coins like Inge, we've got even AVAX. Yeah, but it went down so much, and versus BTC, it's been bad. It's like, okay, but since October, it's up almost 400%. So bears haven't been right in the slightest in the last year, outside of very small windows of time. And over the last quarter and since September, they've been get absolutely butt fucked, and do not let them convince you of anything otherwise. That's very strong language, and I apologize if there's any kids listening. All right? I mean, even fucking like Ethereum, Bitcoin are up 150% on the year. So regardless of what bears try and convince you of, they've been getting pummeled. Okay, that's a better word for it. But yeah, so let's look at so I know someone said something about Donald saying a close below 35K. I imagine he's talking about this level here. So Donald likes these levels like this. He likes this level, I think, or something. He likes these weird levels. This one, maybe. He's probably got a level here, maybe. Probably got a level like right there. And he operates on the, like, okay, if we close, above this level, we go to the next level. Close above this level, we go to the next level, kind of thing. So maybe that's his 35K level he's talking about there. And I mean, sure, maybe we will close below there. But I mean, not like this would have to have a pretty, serious pullback and then close to basically end the year. So over the next 20 days, we're going to pull back another 20% and close below there. I don't know. My thought process is very simple. First of all, like, if you've made a bunch of money on the way up here, definitely pay yourself some, right? Get some money out of the market, pay yourself some. But I'm going to assume the trend is intact until it's not anymore. So I'm going to buy the dip until it stops working, because when you're in a serious uptrend, right? Like 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, it worked 4 times. The 5th time, it doesn't work, right? Like, I would rather trade it like that than try and guess which one of these is the final high and get short, if that makes sense. I think Donald's a great trader. He has his own way to trade. I think you guys should make your own decisions, right? Don't do what I say or what Donald says or what someone else says. Make your own fucking decisions, because it's your money at risk, right? We could go to 50K tomorrow, and if you sold your entire stack because of what Donald said or what I said or what someone else said, guess what? You only have you to blame. As much as you want to try and blame someone else, they're an influencer, it's your money. It's up to you, right? So, I can see his reasoning that we're probably due for a pullback. Maybe the price appreciation is over for the ETF. I don't know yet. It's not really something I'm trying to speculate on. I'm just trying to play this level to level. We would have to go back to, 20K for me to be, near break even on some of my spot buys. And I've taken profit on spot buys and margin plays on the way up. I have dry powder. If we drop, I can buy more. So I'm prepared for whatever. But if you're all in and you haven't taken a single cent of profit, I don't know, maybe you want to take profit going into one of the biggest events and catalysts in crypto in a very long time. I don't know. I can't tell you what to do with your money. It's up to you. But what I can tell you is it's your money. So whatever decision you make sure it's your decision. That way you can live with the result more comfortably. Because if you're making your decisions based on what some person on the internet said and it doesn't go your way, you're going to be very annoyed at that person on the internet. And guess what? It's not their fault. It's your fault, right? Don't play the victim. All right. Yeah, so it seems like the new Sol Luna AVAX is Inge and Celestia, Incel. Or you could have T Inge AVAX, right? So Tia, Inge, AVAX, those are all ripping. But the coins that I like, right? I like right now in terms of volatility and strength. I really like Sol, obviously still. I like Tia. I like Inge. I like AVAX. I think SNX is another good market. So there's a handful there that you can play with and pay attention to, and I think have proven to be very strong and have proven to be, really, really volatile if you're a day trader, and that's kind of all that fucking matters. All right. Any good questions in here? Just Jane saying a bunch of stupid shit that no one cares about. Started taking the ICT course. Good luck, bro. Watch it on 1.5x speed. It's probably the best thing you can do. I'm good, man. How are you? This TRB looks strong. I mean, you don't need me to tell you that. You use your eyes. Let's see. So here's our dump. All right, you're asking me if a coin that since we had the huge market-wide dump has made a new high. You're asking me if that's a strong coin. Do you need me to tell you that? Obviously, this looks very strong. It's already made a new high. Right? So the whole market crashed here. This thing barely went down. Mayne, your system's been on fire for indices lately. I'm glad to hear, bro. You know Alec Monopoly? Do I own any Alec Monopoly art? No, I do not. I mean, look at some of these coins, man. This is another coin that I could have longed and I didn't. Oh, yeah. I literally posted this in the Haven the other day. Oh, that's painful. That's a huge fucking miss. I didn't get filled. I remember I should have just chased it. Oh, well. That'll happen. Yeah, so a lot of these coins are fucking flying. What trading software are you using for trading? This is called TradingView. Man, how are you preparing for the ETF as someone that isn't the smartest when it comes to fundamentals? Are you saying I'm stupid? Or are you calling yourself stupid? Because the answer to both is yes. You took the AVAX trade because of me. Fuck you, dude. Jesus, so many fucking questions. I don't even know which one to pick. Yeah, in terms of how I'm preparing for the ETF, I mean, listen, I wouldn't be surprised if we see some sort of, correction going into the event. I don't know if it's going to be by the news. Like I'm of the mindset that post ETF, everything likely goes higher, right? Going into the halving, right? But something you have to consider is, we could be in one of those. Does this go back far enough? Of course it doesn't. Come on, bro. Right? Like we could be in one of those so I like if you look at this on the log, cuz then it makes it look a little less egregious, the COVID dip. Shut the fuck up. Jesus. Right? Like we had this pre-halving pump here, right? So this is going into the halving here. And then we had another correction, and then the real bull run started. So, is there an argument to be made that we're still, we're going to experience that now on Bitcoin? Maybe. Like, maybe this is going to be one more big correction, and then the real bull run starts going into the spring of next year. I don't really fucking know. But again, for the high time frame, anything down in here, I think, is a buy. So I think largely how you react to this is dependent on how you are positioned. When did you buy your spot? Do you have any spot? Do you have dry powder to buy if prices go lower? Right? If you have no dry powder and you bought all of your spot at 40K, you probably have some decisions to make. Do you want to risk, going into a huge event and not being willing to accept any downside? Whereas if you're set up in spot comfortably, I've been bullish. I was telling you guys to buy here. I was telling you guys to buy here. I was telling you guys to buy here. I told everyone on Twitter to buy here. So I don't care if we have some huge correction, because not only have I taken profit along the way and accumulated more coins by buying and selling some out to USD, so I have dry powder. I'm okay with a big drop because I have more money than I did before, right? And my cost basis is low. So it's really difficult question to answer. For me personally, though, I've de-risked already on the way, and I will de-risk more. I think this is a good potential warning sign. Like, I think it very obviously over the next couple of days, if we aren't making new highs on Bitcoin and stuff, then it gets slightly more worrisome that we're going to, this was just kind of a test dump and we're going to have a larger correction. But until then, I'm assuming the trend is up until proven otherwise. And that's just what we're going to go with. Dry powder, as in euro or as in dollars, fiat, tether, stablecoin, whatever, to buy more crypto if prices really dump more, right? So is this just a leverage shakeout? Is this the beginning of a potential trend shift? And we're gonna, we've been going up since September, basically vertical. So having some sort of period of down is not crazy. But I'm very confident that the low's in, and I'm pretty confident that, this low and probably this low is in as well. So any sort of deep pullback that we may get, I'm still viewing as a high time frame, higher low, right? So that's the mindset I'm operating with. And whether the ETF is announced here or it's announced here and we're trading down, or it's announced and we're already down here, I think the end result is higher. So that's how I'm playing things. If we disable the red button, price will go up. See, the thing is whatever we do doesn't really fucking matter. Doesn't matter at all. We have zero effect on the market. Have you bought spot? Of course. I have a bunch of spot of random shit. The majority of my portfolio is in Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana. But I have tons of fucking, altcoins. I have a huge bag of fucking Beam. Um, I have a bag of this, OXO. So I've got a bag of this. Hopefully this fucking goes to $5 and it makes me super duper rich. I've got Rainy Coin or RST. I've got Say. I've got some Unibot. I've got lots of coins. I wish I had fucking AVAX. Fucking can't believe I missed this long here. It's insane. That's gonna drive me nuts now. Guys, we have 630 people watching, 128 likes. We gotta pump the numbers up. Pump them. Okay. But yeah, guys, I mean, in terms of, the other markets, I mean, Ethereum BTC, we had that sweep here of the low. I won't get horny about this chart until we market structure break on the 12-hour. So that's not till up here. So maybe like we've got is this a sweep? I don't think so. I don't know. I don't think so. Is it? Oh, it is. So we technically have an H12 sweep here now. But until we start trading above this, I'm not getting horny that this was the low. Not yet. I don't buy it. Not yet. Not until we get above there. Looking at the dollar, right? I'd mentioned we had a bunch of confluent factors for why we could get a bounce here. In terms of where we're at right now on the dollar, you have your low here. You have your high right there. We swept the high. So hopefully, right, for crypto, the dollar now trades back and takes out, this low and this low. And then we see what happens. In terms of equities, I'm super annoyed because I got the long correct, right? I took the long. My risk was below this low here. But then when we had this initial move up, I moved my stop to this low here because I thought, okay, that's kind of your sweep. And then it came, literally tagged me out, and then fucking went. So that's annoying. But this looks really strong. Dollar looks kind of a little bit weak. We just put in a new, we're putting in a new high unless this weekly candle closes super ugly. NQ as well, right? I wanted to see a pullback into here. Didn't even come. Very shallow. This is all-time high here on NASDAQ. Right there. Dow. This is your all-time high on the Dow. Right there. Right? So new highs seem very likely on a lot of equities. This is just, this chart is, okay? We had Peter Shift. Peter Pumpkin Eater, Peter the tweeter deleter. How come guys named Peter suck ass on Twitter? Peter Brandt, clown. Peter Schiff, clown. Peter Pan, a fairy, literally. He came on Twitter and I said, gold just made a new all-time high. Like, wait for the tweet. He tweeted immediately. He tweeted here and he's like, oh, now it's at 2100. Now it's at 2150. And then he's like, it's at 21. 46 or whatever. And that was the literal top. And I'm like, this thing's going down now, dude. Peter just fucking bull posted into the high. So, of course, I screenshotted him. Fucking yeeted it on the chart. Major short sell. Very simple trade. Sweep all-time high. This is also a 12-hour SFP. 12-hour market structure break. There's your breaker right there. Simple. Zoom in on the hourly, get your hourly trigger, sweep, market structure break, retest, bang. Hey, Mayne, BTC sweating. primarily. That's my main focus. But if you want to pick an exchange, look at spot exchanges, right? There's going to be variances between, derivatives exchanges, spot exchanges, etc. Can I look at Ribbit? No, I'm not looking at any shit coins on these videos. Not unless you're paying me, bro. Start paying me, then maybe we can look. Do you actually hold those altons? No, man, I'm just making it up. It's just all fugazi. It's all for fun. I just like to pretend. I just sit in here and I just pretend. I spend hours of my day on a computer talking about this stuff, but I just don't even hold it. Dude, BNB, I got fucking scammed, man. So I took this capo trade with a target of his. Where the fuck is it? But I took the long here. And where the fuck is it? Which chart did I have it on? BNB USDT. BNB USDTP. Gotta be one of these. Where the fuck is it? I swear to God, Twitter's fucking website constantly fucking breaks for me. Stops loading. So fucking slow. I can't use fucking GIFs. Fucking just sucks ass. I think I took it here. Yeah, I took it here. And then I got wicked out here. And my target was going to be 300, which is where Capo's short entry is. So it would have been goated thread, but I got wicked out on the dump last night, which is whack. Do you think we'll see a rotation from Solana to other ecos? Have you seen the AVAX chart, bro? Have you seen the INJ chart? I think the rotation's been happening. We have a real recession next year and potential war. What do you think? What has been happening in the markets? Have we not had a recession, and have rates not been crazy high and inflation been crazy high? Has none of that been a recession? Like, it's like this boogeyman everyone always talking about. Oh, the recession. Like, maybe we do have a recession, and I don't know what defines it. Was this not a recession? Like, here, was this not a recession? Not here, sorry. Like, was this not it? Is this not classified as a recession? Right? We had basically almost a year of straight down, right? So I don't know. God, if I was still holding this entry, that would be God tier. But yeah, if we have some sort of, fucking monstrous nuke in equities, yeah, it's probably not good for crypto. If equities going down, usually crypto goes down from a macro perspective. But they are different assets. But I think, yeah, if the whole fucking world's exploding, maybe it's not good for risk assets. That's probably a pretty safe assessment. God, everything is just up so much. Look at these charts, dude. Would love Ethereum to just fucking go higher. That would be cool. Midterm analysis on coin. I mean, I'm in from $75, so like no one can even talk to me. It hit my target already. Almost a 2x from my entry. So maybe we get a pullback to, these highs here. I could see that 105 to 110. Sure, I don't mind that. But this was a bangerang call. And if you're bullish crypto and you think crypto is going to continue to go higher and we're going to go make new all-time highs, you bet your ass this thing's going higher. ETH will hit 500 to 700, then go to 0. Okay, man. Cool. I mean, can you look at the Matic weekly? I can't believe you just told me the 92 RSI on D high. I don't even know what the fuck that means, bro. Listen, all I would say about Matic is it's not as up. Like, look at it versus BTC. Look at it versus Ethereum. There's a bazillion fucking better coins to trade than fucking Matic right now. Look at it versus Solana. Okay, so this is to my earlier point of the video of looking at things like TIA and INJ and AVAX that are being super reflective and super strong. Why are you longing something that isn't even outperforming Bitcoin, let alone Ethereum or Solana or some of these other coins? It's fucking bazillion way better fucking coins to trade than shit like this. But yeah, I mean, V bottom, right? Like, look at that, what I showed you earlier there. Look at this. Just on Ethereum there, nice little day trade, 4%, 2% stop, like no heat. So let's see what happens here. Ethereum also got the SFP, but it swept this H12 low. So one thing I like about Ethereum, kind of high time frame still, is you have this weekly fair value gap here, right there. And we have the top of this order block here. So we tag this weekly order block. We have a weekly fair value gap. And on the H12, we put in an SFP there. So to me, like this, you could long this literally right now and have your stop below here. Or if you want to be even looser with your stop, you could probably have it, below this low or something. A little bit looser. But, you could target a significantly new high. And the risk reward is still not horrible. Obviously better with a tighter stop, but I also understand why and have something a little looser. This is a 7% stop, so you got to keep in mind your position sizing when doing something like that. But this kind of 12-hour weekly combination here, I think looks pretty good for Ethereum. But again, need to see this continue higher as well. I can't look at CAS, bro. I saw CAS at like a penny and I didn't even buy a single one. Infuriating. There's so many bags I've already fumbled this run. It's crazy. So much generational wealth. You know anything about gold miners ETF like Nugget? Trying to understand the correlation of gold price. Not really, bro. I don't really know anything about that. All right, guys. So I think that's a good place to probably end it. Little over an hour and 10 minutes here. So hopefully you found some value in there. As usual, guys, appreciate the love, the support. We've got like 600 people watching these streams live, which is fucking nutty numbers. So thank you so much. I want to get this to 1,000. I would love to have 1,000 people watching live. I think that'd be phenomenal. Really good numbers. So thanks tuning in. Appreciate y'all. If you got any questions, let me know. Make sure you check out Breakout Prop if you're trying to trade crypto with prop firm advantages. We got the best crypto prop in the game. Myself, Crypto Cred, Abe Trade, built something pretty cool. You can use code BALDTRIP right now for challenges. So check that out for sure. Obviously, if you want more of me, check out links in the description for the Haven, Discord, all that kind of stuff. Telegram's free as well. Appreciate you guys. Love y'all. Talk to y'all soon.